moment I understood the weakness of my flesh, it disgusted me. I craved the strength and certainty of steel. I aspired to the purity of the blessed machine. Your kind cling to your flesh, as if it will not decay and fail you. One day the crude biomass that you call a temple will wither, and you will beg my kind to save you. But I am already saved. For the machine is immortal. I serve the Omnisire.
Hi everyone, and welcome back to another review. Today I'm looking at Warhammer 40,000 Mechanicus, developed by Bulwark Studios and published by Casino Games. This game came out in 2018 with a DLC that came out last summer. I didn't get around to playing this game until about a couple of months ago. I also have to note that I did the first playthrough of this game without the DLC, and that this review is based off of that playthrough. Mechanicus is a turn-based strategy game in the vein of XCOM, though with some less features. That being said, is it any good? Well, yeah, for the most part. So let's get started with the pros. The game itself is visually great. The settings, the units, the various characters look just like how they would on the tabletop, which isn't really a surprise since there's a ton of source material, not to mention, the miniatures themselves. The sound design also is really good. Truthfully, I may have played with the music down a bit more than I should have had it at, but it was enjoyable nonetheless. All the weapons look like they should sound like. The ambient noises are creepy, they fill in the setting even more, you feel like you're in a Necron complex. The only thing I wish there was more of was actual dialogue as opposed to speech to read, but that's truthfully just my personal preference. So this brings me to the next point, the story. Overall, the story holds up well. It's straightforward with its overarching story with multiple endings and some hidden gems in side quests as well as in the side dialogue. And you really just have to work for those. It's nothing too memorable. It's not the best story I've ever played or read for the most part, but it is enjoyable to experience. So how does the game play? Well, like I said, it's like a diet XCOM. You play as Mechanicus, tech worshippers in the 41st millennium to keep it as a TLDR. You have your cohort, comprised of tech priests and various troops like Scutari and Servitors. Your tech priests are your real troops. They're very customizable with a really easy to use leveling system and a wide range of abilities and weapons and armor that they can get through this leveling system. There are no other factions to play as, though you fight exclusively against the Necrons. The DLC adds in the Dark Mechanicum, but I didn't get to play that, so it's a null point for this. During the missions, you have access to different canticles. These are supposed to be one-use abilities through the expeditions that'll do things like deal more damage or have more armor, heal your troops, but there's ways to easily exploit this. Cover is straightforward. If you see it, you can shoot it. There is no cover bonus like how you have in XCOM. AoE attacks and melee are extremely devastating and can absolutely just make the game ridiculously easy. The biggest downside of the game, in my opinion, is a lack of multiplayer. I think that if there's to be a sequel, and I really hope there is, then there should be multiplayer in it for sure. So, what is my final verdict? Well, I think I have to give it 7 server skulls out of 10. The game, for what you get, is a blast to play, with some replayability, but with a lack of multiplayer and no faction diversity, it feels like it's missing the mark for a truly amazing Warhammer 40,000 experience. That being said, I would highly recommend this game in a heartbeat, and sincerely hope that a sequel is coming sooner rather than later. Thank you.